5, 4, 3, 2, 1, fire. The only thing we have to fear is fear.
Mile 18.
This is Endurance Nation. Hello there, and welcome to another episode of the Endurance Nation podcast. I'm Coach Patrick, your host on these different episodes that cover interviews with our members and with industry leaders, as well as regular topics that are pertinent to endurance athlete success. This time around, it's getting close to the fall, and I wanted to let you know that our season is kicking off on November 1st. That's right. Endurance Nation works through seasons, and our winter training program kicks off in earnest on November 1st. If you head over to endurancenation.us, you'll be able to enter your email address to get all the details about what's coming up and learn why starting in November is super important and how we can work with you over the course of the winter using our patented out-season program and the subsequent training phases of the year to create the conditions and knowledge you need to be your better and faster self. And if you're ready to get started early, can't wait till November 1st, we have a durability program for you too. So once again, head over to endurancenation.us, enter that email, learn more about what we are doing here over the course of the year, why Endurance Nation is different, why training with a team is the way to go, and how we can help make you successful. Until then, I look forward to hearing from you online somewhere, and sit back here now and enjoy this episode.
Endurance Nation.
Hey everyone, Coach Patrick here, Endurance Nation, back with another weekly videocast podcast. This week's topic is embracing the training heat. Getting ready for the summer, getting ready for those hot races, and turning heat to your advantage. This is part of our weekly coach education series. Inside Endurance Nation, we believe that smarter athletes are faster athletes, smarter athletes are stronger athletes. We help endurance athletes just like you, regardless of your event, make better decisions on a daily basis, stay consistent with your workouts, and crush it, building fitness that carries you through to your race day and beyond. You can check us out at endurancenation.us. All right, so the majority of athletes consider heat to be their enemy. It depletes you, it slows you down, it burns your skin, it makes training and racing downright miserable. In other words, this is the perfect opportunity to turn someone else's problem into your advantage. Like, let's use this, right? Don't just run away from it. Don't be scared of it. Let's go ahead, find a way to turn this into something that really works for you, okay? Training in the heat, when it's done properly, brings extra adaptations for you fitness-wise, and it's going to help you unlock great performance on race day, not only in your workouts, but also on the big day itself. There's been several studies that have shown positive outcomes, and there's different elements, that we could think about that'll help you get better as an athlete training in the heat. Specifically, as you move in season, and we have 2 or 3 training sessions a week, anywhere from 60 to 90 minutes in the heat is just right? So don't do one session and crush yourself. Don't do every day and also crush yourself. Find a way to space out that heat in a way that works, whether it's in the same sport or across different disciplines or in workouts that are complementary to you. So long hikes, but for runners, whatever that may be. Find a way to, integrate heat into your program to make things work out for you to be the best you can. Okay. Benefits that come from training in the heat and doing so properly and recovering include decreased heart rate when you're exercising. Your body simply adapts and you're doing better for less heartbeats, which is a very important metric when we think about endurance racing. We have improved exercise economy. There's just aerobic efficiency and less chance of breakdown as you adapt to the heat. So relative to other folks who are struggling in the heat who are not adapted, you'll do well because you have improved exercise economy, and it's been measured in these studies, pre and post. We have a lower core temperature at the start of sweating. And this is really important, particularly for athletes that are in events that have either longer times, which have periods of heat, periods of cool, or multiple disciplines, which are efforts that are not hard, but then efforts that are. So cycling to running is a transition, for example. In both cases, we're moving from a place where we're doing work, but at a lower rate or lower cost to us, and then changing into a hotter environment that cost comes on. Starting with a lower core body temperature, because we've been training in the heat, gives us more room to grow. So if you're struggling in the heat, new to the heat, core body temperature is elevated already at 2 or 3 degrees, we have very little room for us to go forward, right? If we're already at, say, 100 degrees core body temperature, we can only get to 102 before we run into trouble. We've only got 2 degrees to work with. If you, because of your heat adaptation, are maintained pretty close to 98.6, maybe you're 99, an extra degree could make the difference between a great race and a good race, right? So important for us to know. And then fourth and final, we have increased plasma volume. Plasma is the liquid component in your blood, and when it's increased, you can send oxygen you can send blood to cool your skin, without compromising the oxygen you carry to your muscles, right? So it can do double work, and that allows you to be far more efficient. So even though the workload goes up because you have a higher amount of plasma in your system due to this training in the heat and the adaptations you've experienced, you can still cool your body and get the oxygen you need to your muscles. That's a win-win, and another massive reason why heat adaptation, in fact, it's probably the primary reason that people choose to do heat adaptation work, is to make sure that they are prepared in this regard. So they're not stopping sweating, they're not compromising because the blood is too thin, doesn't have the plasma, unable to do the work you needed to do in the conditions you want at the effort that you've set forth mentally, but maybe struggling physically to implement. So here are 3 ways that you can think about heating up your training that can be really helpful for you. Because as an endurance athlete, we can't just dive right in. In fact, when you're doing heat training, it's really important to make sure that you are not only 100% healthy, you've also checked with your physician, doctor, et cetera, to make sure that training with heat and using heat as a tool is going to be successful for you. For some folks, it's an easy switch. For others, it can be tough. And if you're new to this and you get too aggressive with your choices for training or put yourself in a bad position, it can be super detrimental to your training. So as always, we want you to exercise extreme caution. All right, so the first version, the steady burn. This is my favorite. It's the easiest to implement, and that is doing a steady workout, but in warmer conditions. So don't run at 8, run at 10 or 11. Get more to that midday heat temperature, right? Don't run in conditions that are going to slow you down. Set yourself up for conditions where you can be successful by spacing yourself out over time and then going into a place where you can build that effort and build the impact of that heat in such a way that lets you be successful because you're adapting over time. So this saves you from being in that aggressive place where you're unsure how things are going, and all of a sudden you get slammed with the heat. By doing that steady burn, you can increase your way into it, kind of like walking into the low end of a pool in such a way that you can do just enough to feel that adaptation, but not so much that you can't undo it, right? The second part here, the hot hills. This is an easy one. In this case, we're going to be doing hill-based repeats, steady work, but the steady work on a hill is automatically harder, right? You see more watts, more heart rate. This goes for all disciplines, obviously, except for swimming. No swimming hills, please. In this case, we actually get to introduce stress from additional muscular recruitment by going uphill and modulating the pace and effort accordingly, and doing so in hotter temperatures gives us room to work, but also the downhill gives us room to recover. In some cases, people may choose to have ice or cooler fluids at the bottom as a chance to facilitate some of that recovery as well. But this is a nice way to sort of modulate heat in a compressed way that's easy to do during the week and allow you to be successful. And the third and final option, sorry, this one's so fast today, but I do have to go, is the burning repeats. Okay, the burning repeats, this is the track. This is you with a sports bra on or just no shirt. Like, it's not pretty, but we're here to suffer. And after a nice warm up, we're doing some harder intervals in the heat. Again, if you're training for, say, a marathon, this could be 10K pace in the heat. So it doesn't have to be super fast, but it has to be consistent, solid work. Probably the total duration of that workout's in that 60-minute range. Warm up, warm down also counts for heat adaptation. Could make that as much as 90 if you wanted, mostly on the track. So you're feeling the heat coming up off of the ground. And again, having cool fluids or ice available to help facilitate recovery between repeats can be helpful as you dive in. So don't think about heat as a problem. Think about heat as an opportunity for you to adapt and get stronger, build resilience, prepare for the conditions that are going to exist on race day, and make sure that you're one step ahead of the competition. Heat isn't always your enemy, but it can be your enemy's enemy if you do it right. Thanks for tuning in. This is Coach Patrick from Endurance Nation signing off. I'll see you next week in another episode and hope to see you over at endurancenation.us if you want to join the community. See you.
For more information about Endurance Nation, visit us online at endurancenation.us. The provided music is from the Podshow Podsafe Music Network. Check it out at music.podshow.com.